J'ai entendu dire que certaines personnes n'étaient pas d'accord pour jouer à un jeu qui s'appelle loup-garou. Parce que dans les enfants, il y a des adultes qui disent que c'est un mauvais jeu, qu'il ne faut pas jouer ici, parce qu'on joue avec la mort, et que c'est un cas. Et d'autres personnes disent que c'est très bien, parce que c'est un jeu, et que c'est ensemble. Donc, moi je pose la question si c'est bien ou si c'est pas bien, et quel enseignement pour tirer de cette dispute.
Our friend is saying that there's a certain game that some of the young people like to play called jugar. And some of the adults said that the young people should not play this game because it has something to do with death. And other people say that it can be a good game for them to play. So how can they resolve this question, and what kind of teaching can be helpful to understand about this? Mrs. Hanh, do you want to say more about the game?
Okay, it's just a simple game where you have to choose at the end of the one party who you want to kill into a part of some special characters like the witches and and in that people you have a trigger, and that trigger is I and is the werewolf. So you have to kill people and hopefully you have to kill the werewolf. So this is why some people get like children to say that they have to kill each other and choose who you want to kill. And you have to defend yourself. I'm not the werewolf, please don't kill me. And all the children together have to say, this one I think is the werewolf, we should kill him. And maybe he's the yourself. And this game is like, all the werewolf win and we kill every people normal, all the normal people win and we kill the werewolf. Thank you.
Sugar Hangiem, can you help answer that question for Thai? Maybe Thai Pháp Lưu also. You kill or you pretend to kill? You really want to kill? Microphone for Sister Hangiem.
I have played this game in the past. I feel that I know a little bit of the spirit of when we play together this kind of game. I feel that's something that is vibrant in this game for children or young people is that we take roles. Either we are an innocent villager, or we are a werewolf, or we are a witch, or we are a little girl. And obviously, in these roles, there's the good and the evil. And the innocent people, they represent the good and they want to save their lives. And the werewolves, in this game, they represent the evil and they want to many victims. And there are also some roles in this game where you can actually save the lives of people, or you can act in a way which will kill more people at the same time. And of course it's pretending, we don't actually many victims, but it's just a way of saying that some people get eliminated from the game. And in this game there has to be a lot of talking together to convince the others that you are not a werewolf and you shouldn't be killed. So sometimes if you are a werewolf and people want to kill you, then you lie because you say, no, I'm not a werewolf, don't kill me. So I think that sometimes you be sort of very tired in this game by way of lying or trying to kill someone who is actually innocent. I think that's something we can learn from a game like this, is that we can have roles together when we're in a community, but it doesn't have to become so violent. Maybe the children could think of a game which is similar to the werewolf, where you have to discuss together, and you also have roles, but maybe you won't have to kill people. Maybe instead of that, you can make projects or we can gain some wisdom together, or also save the weaker, the needy. I hope that I will contribute something.
I think the children can sit down and discuss about this and come to a conclusion. And they can, if a game is not approved by a number of people, and then we can change the way of playing so that everyone can accept. You know, I came from a country where the killing took place every day, every night, and many people died. One side was the communist, and one side was the anti-communist. And they kill each other every day, every night, because they think of the other side as evil. And the suffering went on for many, many years. That is a game, a horrible game. So our thinking about good and evil is very important. Don't try to say that this is evil. And if something is evil, we have to kill. Don't think like that. Suppose someone is sick. He has a kind of virus, bacteria that make him very sick. And we want to help him or her. We have to kill the disease, the sickness in him or her, and not kill her, right? You have to kill the virus, the bacteria, and not the person, right? So when someone is violent, because someone is unjust, someone is a criminal, we should not try to kill him or her, but we try to kill the violence, the anger in him or in her. Not to kill. And that is why during the war in Vietnam, they wrote a song and asked the young people to sing it on the street. Our enemies are not men. If we kill men, with whom shall we live? Become a folk song. And that is why our principle is that no killing. We don't kill any people, any person, even if that is a terrorist or a criminal. We want to kill the wrong perception and the ignorance, the hate, the fear, the violence in him or in her, and not to kill him or her. And that's why you have to create a kind of game where we don't kill the person, but we kill the evil in that person. That evil is violence, anger, and hate. But you have to be very skillful in order to kill the violence, the hate in a person. And with the practice of mindful talking, mindful listening, you can help a person remove anger and violence in him or in her. You cannot do that with guns. That is the first thing you have to learn. Never kill a man, a woman. Only kill the evil in him or in her. But you don't need a weapon in order to kill. You need the practice of compassion, listening. And that is the first part of the answer. The second part of the answer is deeper, because you know that nothing is born, nothing dies. That is why you cannot even kill anger. You transform anger into something else. Like you cannot kill a cloud. You can help a cloud to become rain. So anger, violence, there is a way to transform them into something else that are more pleasant, like compassion, understanding, reconciliation. And that you can do with the practice of meditation. That is why we are here to learn. Even we don't even kill, we don't even want to kill anger or hate, because we know that nothing dies. But we know that we can transform anger and hate into something positive, like understanding and love. And in Plum Village, we learn how to transform anger into compassion. We learn how to transform violence into gentleness. And the children can learn. And when they go back to school this September, they know how to deal with the children who are violent and have a lot of anger in them. We don't want to punish them, to hit them, but we want to help them to be less violent, to less angry. And you can learn that in Plum Village. And you can help your fellow students in the class. Ask your mentors here in Plum Village how to do that. And create a kind of games that can help us to learn. This person this guy is supposed to be evil. And people say that we have to kill them. Can we kill a person? No. We have to help him or her not to be violent, not to be angry. And how? So we can create many kinds of games. There are plenty of games, beautiful games. Why don't we spend our time playing in such a way that we can learn more? Thank you.